Welcome aboard the lifeboat, people. I'm Captain Calhoun. It's wonderful to see you this morning. It is wonderful to see you this morning. I'm having a bit of a rough, slow start today, but nothing coffee can't fix, huh? And pour me up some of that. Good to see you, Caitlin, Robin Miners, Mother Bird, Jeremy Fowler. I see you. What's going on, folks? Sandy Wandy, James Collins. What's going on, brother? I'm glad you guys made it. Barbara, Jane, hello, hello. Mary O, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining me. Kristen, Andrew B, we are going to talk about some rock bottom things today. I was reminiscing about my time in AA and just generally about my life, as I've been doing a lot lately. Maybe it's just that time of year, but some things occurred to me that I thought might be worth discussing. And today's going to be a little bit looser. We're not I mean, it is a rock bottom conversation title, right? But I don't think we're going to talk about this the whole time. I think we're going to have a much looser kind of format today. We're going to kind of relax and chill this morning. It's Friday Junior, so I'm gonna kick back a little. But yeah, rock bottom is not a very kickback topic, which is fine. But I was thinking, the first time around when I first went to AA and got sober, I made a lot of friends. I learned a lot. I got sober. I spent about 2 years sober at that point. And I have to say, I had a lot of conversations with my sponsor, with my peers, with people in AA. And I used to hear a lot of things, a lot of words thrown around, strung together in certain ways, kind of like an example. I used to hear stuff like, if you haven't found rock bottom, you may as well go find it. Or stuff like, if you're not done, you may as well go find rock bottom and be done. Stuff like that, and that might not be verbatim what people say, but I used to hear stuff like this all the live long day. Like there was we would be going through step work, or we'd be having a conversation about concepts, and like it would come into the conversation like I'm uncertain about something, and my sponsor would throw one of these at me like, well, you better become certain or I'm not going to sponsor you, kind of thing. And I mean, it wasn't always that way, but that is the energy that it carried, and that is how it felt when these things are thrown around. And I have to say, I wasn't done. In my mind, I thought that I was done, right? But the history shows that 2 years later, I would go back out and spend about 5 or 6 drinking and drugging after that, right? So that being said, I wasn't actually done. If I had hit my rock bottom, right? If I had spent that 6 years or whatever drinking and drugging and then gone to AA and had these conversations, this might have driven me away. My situation was desperate, and I didn't need crap like that. I didn't need words thrown in my face. I needed help. You know what I mean? And if I had said that to my sponsor at the time, he probably would have been like, well, then accept my help. What I have to say is important. Trust me, kind of thing, right? And it's like, well, I also need you to explain things to me. I was just reminiscing on this weird culture, this strange culture. And maybe I'm remembering it differently than it actually happened. That stranger things have happened, right? But that being said, I just thought that when I was thinking about this, it made me really proud to be the captain of a lifeboat, because we do harm reduction here. We do a lot of things just a little bit differently than that. You know what I mean? And we don't tell people go find rock bottom, because that's friggin' stupid, in my opinion. That is dangerous. And I was looking up material today to kind of riff with, and I saw something that had the AA logo on it, and they're pretty serious about their logo. You can't alter it, and you can't put it on stuff that's not affiliated, and the board will get a hold of you. So that being said, I assume that it was legit because it had the logo. And it was saying the opposite of what I'm saying. It was saying something like, it was basically agreeing with me that, waiting for your rock bottom is always a bad idea and is dangerous. So it's curious. I wonder if the culture is changing over time over there in the 12 steps, or if we're just learning as humans. Either way, it's good. It's good, because it didn't used to be like that. I feel like people used to encourage me to go find my rock bottom. It's like I might not make it back. You know what I mean? I don't know why that's such a thing to encourage. Reality with Krista Marie, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Let's It's nice to meet you. Matrix. Matrix, I was texting you back and my phone, I don't know if I think I've told you guys what's going on with my phone. I was messaging you back and I got to the end of it and hit send and my phone restarted like right there in that moment. So I haven't that was right before that was right before we started here. So I will message you again. Let's see if I can get it to send after this. Let's put some ones up for Matrix Rabbit as well, folks. And anyone else out there that needs a little bit of extra help, all right? Sorry you're going through it, Matrix. Sending you all the love I can muster. Caradish, hello from Wales, UK. I love your name. Welcome in. Katie did. Jeremy says I was at rock bottom when I found the boat and the bus. The culture and mindset here has truly reset my life for the better. I love this. This means we're doing a good job, folks, right here. This is wonderful, Jeremy. I'm so glad to know that this is the effect that we've had on you. And I still, like, even this morning, I was in last night, I was having doubts, like, am I even making a difference? I have those imposter syndrome thoughts all the time, and it's just bull crap. I'm doing everything that I possibly can, and it certainly seems to be making a difference. So, in fact, I was thinking about picking up even more shifts on the union just to make my wallet a little nicer. But I want you guys to know, I probably don't talk about this at all, but I've been working for the union on the side, and I will continue to do so. But the boat will always come first. I want you guys to know that I will always be here in the morning. Um, I will always be in this chair doing this thing. All right. I don't want you guys to ever worry about that. But you know, I think I'm going to start doing some other stuff as well because I need a little bit more. Andrew B says, I'm here today because you made a difference in my day yesterday, brother. Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. I am so glad to hear that. And we're gonna keep going. We're gonna shoot for the stars every single day, yo. We're gonna keep shooting for it. But just to circle back to rock bottom, um, I'm really glad that that's not the energy culture. I'm really glad that's not the culture we have here. I'm really glad we don't tell people to go find rock bottom because that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Shout out to all my sponsors that told me that. But yeah, man, rock bottom is definitely like a, a stepping stone. It's definitely something that can really shake the boat up, right? It's something that can really get you focused on what's important. But it's also like I would never choose that. I would never want to go back to the places that I've been. And they say every rock bottom is deeper than the one before, right? If you're going to hit a new rock bottom, it's going to be deeper and darker. It's going to be in a place you couldn't have imagined, right? Every time. And it might not just be one, two, right? You might have three, four, five. You might continue to find rock bottom. The question is, when are you done, right? The question is, when have you had enough of that crap? When have you had enough of that search, you know? And having these concepts in my head when I woke up after my birthday, after that bender almost 2 years ago, um, these concepts being in my head served me very well because I immediately called my dad, right, and told him what was going on and said I need help. And I didn't want to find the next rock bottom. That one was pretty bad. You know what I mean? I thought that I had seen deep and dark, but that one was a whole nother level. What's beyond that? The only thing I could imagine was death, so I didn't want that, right? Rock bottom can be a tool, but it's not one that we're going to seek out. You guys understand? What's going on, Arabian Bard? James Collins says, I think questioning, are we doing the right thing? Are we really helping or making a difference can help us? We reevaluate and adjust to keep pushing forward and finding new ways to help. That is true. That is true. That's a great point, James. It is a part of my drive, 100%. So maybe it's not all bad, right? We're going to use that as a tool to get bigger, badder, and better, every day. Mr. Ponzi, good to see you. Get the heck out of here. I'm taking you all to Trader Joe's. Any requests? I believe Tara Smiling told me that I needed to get something from Trader Joe's, and I don't think it was cookies. I feel like it was something else, like dip of some sort. I'll have to ask her. Work with Kate Jordan. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Matrix Rabbit says, I wouldn't be here right now if not for the connection I made with the boat. I'm really glad that you didn't do that thing. I'm really glad you're still here, man. We love you. We love you very much. And it wouldn't be the same without you. I wonder what the second message said. Sometimes the trolls say like constructive things. It's very weird. Very weird. I guess they're being incognito. Trader Joe's is like a sweet little or organic grocery store type deal. It's pretty good. They got some really good products. I like Trader Joe's a lot. Well, my brain is all over the place today, guys, but at least I'm not on rock bottom. At least that was about 2 years ago. February 24th, 2023, right? We're getting close. Getting close out there. I hope they can help you out, Matrix. Good luck out there. I will definitely I'll ask the genie for some new legs and feet for you, bro. I got a couple wishes left. Well, I definitely thought I was going to have more to say, but that seems like let's see if we can manufacture some more conversation, huh? I bet you I've hit rock bottom 3 times at least, at the very least, probably more than that. And it's impossible to really know how many times I've hit rock bottom without digging up all the old dirt. So I'm probably not going to go ahead and do that. But I've told the story about my most recent rock bottom on here many times. Maybe we could tell a different one. Maybe we could tell a different one. So I got a story for you. Caradish, thank you so much for your support. New to the boat, love the kindness here. Imposter syndrome is itself an imposter. That's right. Nobody needs rock bottom thanks to you, Tommy and chat. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. These are very kind words. And I hope that I can have an effect, I hope that I can continue to have an effect. So Elaine, are you? Hello, hello. Calhoun, I'm sorry if this triggers you, but do you have a relationship with your mother? I do. I do actually. Right now, she asked me if she's going to see me for Christmas, and usually she sees me for Christmas. So with this new move, I'm sure that's what the question was about. And I told her let's talk about it after Thanksgiving. I want to see how Thanksgiving goes because me and my dad haven't spent Christmas together or any holidays together for that matter in many many years. So um, I feel like if Thanksgiving is goes off without any hitches, I would like to spend Christmas with my dad as well. So the last time we spoke, we were talking about holiday stuff. Thanks for asking, Elaine. Where'd you find the thumbnail pic? Asks Jeremy. Dude, I typed in rock bottom into Google Images, and I had to do a little bit of sifting, but this is pretty much exactly what I was picturing in my head. I bet you there's a rock that looks just like a bottom. And then I got sidetracked by SpongeBob pictures because there's a rock bottom, which is like the town down the road from Bikini Bottom. I got sidetracked by some SpongeBob pictures, but we ended up finding this one. There were a number of rocky butts, I have to say, but this one was the cutest in my opinion. But yeah, no, I'm gonna tell a rock bottom story. So y'all know when I on my 18th birthday, my uncle and aunt dropped me off at the homeless shelter. That's who I was staying with on my 18th birthday at the time. So I graduated from high school out of the homeless shelter. And after that, I was like free basically. I had been going to school for however long, right? And I didn't know anything about anything. I really didn't get a whole lot of I didn't get a lot of teaching, you know? Um, my uncle and my grandparents would probably take that personally if they heard that, but I mean, they did their best. You know, I got some teaching. You know what I mean? I didn't get a parent child relationship though. You know what I mean? I didn't get what I was, in my opinion, what I was supposed to get. Right. So I'm just out here by myself at the homeless shelter with nothing to look forward to. Right. I graduated high school somehow, literally graduated. That was pretty wild. And like, yeah, just nothing to look forward to. What am I doing with my life? I'm not going to college. I'm not getting a job. I'm friggin' homeless, right? I'm out here running amok. A friend of mine and myself ended up getting some Greyhound bus tickets to Colorado. I don't know why, but we did. So we moved our happy little butts over to Fort Collins. Um, and we spent a year and a half or 2 years out there just being homeless and whatnot. Um, there was a lot that happened in that period of time. I like reconnected with my birth father. I moved to Utah to try and get my stuff together with my grandparents. I moved to Texas to reconnect with my dad. I came back. I gave all of that up both times to be homeless again in Fort Collins with my buds. It was a real twisted time for Mike's head, for my brain. It was a real twisted up time in my emotions, and I really didn't know what was going on. But I tell you what, there was this one day was hanging out with a friend of mine smoking, and he had an apartment, right? He had a place to live, which is really cool. And so we were hanging out at his house playing video games, smoking, and his roommate comes home. And I remember I laid eyes on this girl and fell in love. Like you hear about in the movies, love at first sight, but I swear, I just immediately was attached to this woman, and we ended up dating for a long time. For at that point in my life, it was a long time. But this would end up being my first love. And I moved in, and it was a little bit of a wild time. But Emily and I feel like I gave her a different name before, but we're gonna call her by her name. When I was younger, I said, "Oh, see my daddy cry." That's the lyric. Got sidetracked there for a sec. What's going on, Tommy Bird? Yeah, the parent thing is hard. Luckily, I have them both now. They're both healthy and sober, and it's not what it was, you know? Anyways, my story. Let's get back into it. Flick, it's wonderful to see you. Rick Spicer, hello, hello. Where was I? Oh, Emily. So I moved in with them, and we had like a happy little time, you know? But I have to say, a little foreshadowing from before, right? I was talking about how I didn't get what I thought I should get. I didn't get the teachings and the upbringings and the lessons. Like I got a lot of those, but I got them about specific things, right? I didn't get the full spread. I feel like I'm missing adult skills, like like how to pay rent and how to do stuff, normal things I didn't know how to do. And I had to figure them out all by myself. But anyways, the reason I say that's foreshadowing is um, all of these. I was a wild heathen. I was like a little young homeless guy, right? I loved this girl to the moon and back, but I did not know how to be like a productive member of society. I didn't know how to get a job. I didn't know how to provide. I didn't know how to be a part of a family. I didn't know any of these things that I needed to know how to do. So we did not end up riding off into the sunset. And in fact, when we broke up, it was really rough for both of us because our connection was so strong, but we both knew it just wasn't going to work. I had a really hard time admitting that to myself. She was quicker to be realistic. And at first, that really hurt, but I'm really grateful for it now. Um, and all of this to say, this was when we broke up, it was parts of a rock bottom. It was leading to a rock bottom for me because when she left, I was homeless again, right? I had nowhere to live. I didn't have a girlfriend anymore. All my friends had kind of like I had kind of given my like I had a friend group before Em and I had gotten together, and they were no good, right? We were just out there robbing and stealing and partying and just doing no good stuff. So I kind of like cut contact with my friends too. So I really didn't have anyone, right? I was trying to make good decisions for Em and I. Um, so I when she left, I had nothing, and I was homeless again, and it was like back to that I had like a square that I had like made peace with, but I also thought was behind me. You know what I mean? So it was like a reality check. It was like, hold on, I'm still homeless. I still have nothing going for me, and I'm just out here doing drugs, right? With nobody. So that was in itself a rock bottom, emotionally, physically. Um, it was not long after that I would come to Salt Lake to stay with my grandparents and actually get my stuff together and start the 10 or 12-year journey of me actually becoming a productive member of society. It was very difficult. And maybe I was getting in my own way. In fact, I most likely was a lot. But that being said, I haven't thought about that rock bottom in a long, long time. I was doing all kinds of drugs. I hadn't really smoked crack back then, but pretty much everything else I had tried. That was in the middle of my me discovering ecstasy too. I discovered ecstasy on this portion of my life. Andrew B says, I think I'm kind of at that stage right now. The unsure, still trying to find a place in normal society for me. And my I can relate with that so much, Andrew. Like, and I feel like my idea of that, like this idea of me finding a place in society, like how that looks in my head has changed drastically over time, right? Like, I don't think that like I can work a day job, but man, it's really not my thing. I mean, whose thing is it really? But what am I trying to say? I like your place can look so drastically different than you think. And it may not fit inside the confines of imagination that you've built in your head. Does that make sense? I feel like that made sense. Like try not to be attached to your vision of where you're going to be, right? Just try and find your place, right? Try and find what drives you. Just try and find what makes you happy. Um, try and find something that makes you happy, but also is going to like serve the greater you, right? It's going to pay your bills. It's going to serve head. It's going to do everything, right? Try to find something that has a nice balance, which I guess is the eternal struggle, right? We're all looking eternally for balance. Um, but you know, yeah, I would not focus on the idea I have of myself. Like I wouldn't focus on this particular vision. I would just try and find like something that checks these boxes. You know what I mean? Try some stuff. The good old fashioned guess and check method, my least favorite mathematical process. Me too, Andrew. Andrew says I latch on to other people's ideas of what I'm supposed to be doing a lot. When I finally realized that, I made a huge move to try and like stop thinking that way, and recognize what other people want for me. And it was a very mind eye-opening experience, um, to start paying attention to that kind of stuff. But I have to say, not all of the, but a lot of the really great things that have happened to me and happened in my life have been a complete surprise, something I absolutely didn't expect. And if I had been waiting for something particular, I might have missed it. If I had been looking out for something that looked a certain way, I might have missed the real glory and the real blessings. Millie the Dandelion, I've missed you. How have you been? Hey Spanx, hey crew, working and lurking. I wanted to send you all a bunch of love and robust magical wishes. Well, thanks, Millie. It's always a pleasure. I'm glad to hear from you. Glad you're doing well. Corinne, hello, hello. Oh, finally, when you'd smile at me. I love this album so much. Working and lurking, that's a t-shirt for sure. Writing it down. Where's my notes? Honestly, can you believe we crossed the world while it's asleep? Always wanted this, and it's not a dream anymore. Worth fighting for. Where's my ideas? Here we go. I have so many notes, they pile up so quick. I started this idea list a few days ago. It's already like 7 or 8 pads down. Working and lurking. Yeah, that's a killer shirt. That's a killer shirt. Trademark, Millie the Dandelion. Reality says I had no plans on getting clean. I had no plans on being any type of a member of society that literally turned everything red. I hate to say, but it is me. That clean now, that was him at first. You know, I'm having a really hard time following this sentence. Reality. Try not to curse in the chat, if you so please. Cooperate, chat. Okay, we're good. We're good, everyone. Everything's fine. Good morning, Krushik. How are you? Got home from the gym, dude? Oof. I'm gonna do chest day right after this. I had breakfast. I should be digested by the end of this, so really stoked. Let's see if I can bust out 200 push-ups today. Spanx, I think part of the work thing is an ADHD thing. I've never fit into Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, or leaving uni and going into a career for the rest of my life. I've always gone from job to job. F normal. I tell you what, this is my story. My name is Michael, or Calhoun, or Spanx Calhoun. You can call me Mike though if you want. Whatever's clever. I'm Captain Calhoun. What was I saying? Flick. I hate this about me. And I hate saying I hate something about me. I hate those words. I don't like saying that. It doesn't feel good. I shouldn't hate things about myself, right? But I tell you what, I wish I could just provide for myself consistently. You know, I wish I could just handle my friggin' business. Why is it so difficult? You know, and that's how I end up beating myself up for not doing so, right? I tell myself I'm not good enough. I tell myself, why can't I just take care of myself? It's so simple, right? All I got to do is go to work, pay the bills, brush my teeth, right? No big deal. But for real, holding down a regular job or like even like remembering to do my routine the proper way every single day, these things are a huge struggle. And you know, obviously I'm making it work, but I feel like most people just kind of get these things done. Most people just kind of get her done, you know, and I don't know why I have such a hard time doing so. You know, for a long time, for the majority of my time on this planet, I thought that I was lesser because of this. I thought that like I'm broken, and maybe I am a little broken, but I'm also really, really cool and awesome in other areas, right? I also have some things about me that are pretty sweet and unique, right? But this part of me, this part that like can't seem to like walk a straight line, just really makes me feel, or has historically made me feel, not enough, right? Which makes a whole lot of sense. I can't even do normal stuff. Well, the thing is I can do normal stuff, right? I just have to try really hard. I can do normal stuff. I just have to go about it in a weird roundabout way to make it work for me. Elaine, are you? Thank you so much for your support. I want you to know how much I and everyone's here appreciates you. You're doing God's work. Well, thank you so much. I all of these experiences that I have had have got to amount to something, right? And maybe this is it. And if this is it, that's absolutely fine with me. I think this is a great place for it. But man, there's no way I'm gonna go to my grave, which is probably very, very far away from this day. But there's no way I'm gonna live my entire life and like let all of these terrible experiences that I've had go to waste. There's no way I'm just gonna have that be like the first chapter. You know what I mean? Like it didn't go anywhere. These experiences have purpose, and I don't think that the purpose is strictly for me. I think it's for everyone. I think it's for everyone. Finally parked the car, squealing tires and all. Have you ever tried to park your car sideways, Kristen? I would not recommend. Would not recommend. Tommy Bird says, every once in a while I remember and say how I used to not understand addiction was a disease. I thought I was the disease. Wow, I can really, really, really relate with that. That is so heavy. I thought I was the disease. No, I 100% thought I was the problem, right? So I'm not the only one. It's weird watching all the people around us not struggle and then me struggling just like the most abysmal struggle, right? Struggling so hard. It really makes one feel like the problem, like I'm the common denominator here, right? Why can't I do this? Everyone else is doing it. So I can relate with that, yo. I can relate with that. But I tell you what, we're not the disease. We're just a little different. We're just a little different. What's going on, Annika? Good to see you. Good to see you. Sometimes a breakdown is really a breakthrough. Get him, Mario. Hell yeah. Hit him with the knowledge. Reality says we are all broken in the right places now, my friends. Well, thank you. Thank you for your support. I agree. We're not like broken. We're unique, right? Broken in the right place. We are all, each and every one of us, different and unique. And maybe I'll rant about equality for a second. Equality is a construct. What is equal? Like equal is a mathematical term. I'm not a number. Are you? I'm vastly more complicated than a digit. You know what I mean? And math is the language of the world, right? It's supposed to explain things simply, right? I'm not simple. I'm a complicated biocomputer, right? Every single one of us has our own uniqueness, right? We're all special in our own way. So to say that we're equal, I think is false, right? Like the actual meaning of the word. I think that we both deserve the world, right? I think we all deserve the best, right? But that doesn't mean we're equal. We're not equal. We are different. And me saying that we're not equal isn't saying that I'm above or below you. I'm not trying to place tiers here. Think about it as like a flat, there's no above or below. We're all just in wildly different places because we're so unique, which is a good thing, right? If we were all the same and we were all equal, the world would be so boorish. Oh, it would be such a drag. But no, we're all different. We're all unique. We all have different things that drive us and light our fires. We have different things that scratch our itch the wrong way. We all have interests and disinterests and strengths and weaknesses. And some of us are short, some of us are tall. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful homogeny. And yeah, I think equality is a construct that the government tries to use to control us. But that's my tinfoil hat sentence for the day. That's my one tinfoil hat sentence. I won't go into it more. But that being said, I think equality is not real, guys. Like it's real in math, but as far as people go, I don't think you can compare a Kristen to a Tommy. You know what I mean? I don't think you can compare a Flick to a Caradish or a Rick Spicer to a James Collins. I think that we're all so unique. It's like oranges to apples. Why would you do that? So I was just inspired by equality, popped into my head for a second. So I thought I'd rant about it. Such a stupid word. It's for math. Equals is for math, not for for anything else. Blessed to crochet. Good to see you, Mary. Captain, I love this quote. One day you will tell your story of how you've overcome what you're going through now, and it will become part of someone else's survival guide. Ooh, wow. Wow. I like that a lot, Mary. One day you will tell your story of how you've overcome what you're going through now, and it will become part of someone else's survival guide. This is amazing. I can only hope. I can only hope. Yeah, if you're not weird, you're not doing something right. I feel like weird people are my people. I mean, there's definitely like my kind of weird and then like the kind of weird that I definitely don't need. But I definitely agree. Weird's kind of the new cool. Like, I guess red is the new black, they say. Maybe that's just a dashboard confessional song. Captain's rant. See, the thing is, my dad's always trying to tell me to find my righteous indignation, and I rarely feel that way about something. Equality for sure. There are things that make me all riled up, and generally they have to do with like tradition and like societally accepted concepts that are dumb. That's usually what gets me riled up. So the next time I get a little riled up, I'll make sure to write some stuff down so I can find that emotion for you guys next time, because there are a few things that really get me going. And I had forgotten, but equality is definitely one of them. We are not equal. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that we're lesser or more than each other. We're just so vastly different. You know, it's like a shark and a giraffe. You can't compare them. They're both wonderful. You know, they're both really cool and weird and strange and do stuff their own way. You know what I mean? One's head's in the clouds and the other one just can't get a breath. You know. I guess sharks breathe underwater. That was not the best metaphor, but that's okay. Less serious. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Quick, go. Don't hesitate. Mine would be breathing underwater, like a shark, or just like a whatever, like something that can breathe underwater. Flying, cranky scientist. Okay. Got snow last night. Blessed. Hunter sent me uh, what am I trying to say? Hunter sent me a photo from his bedroom window, like he had woken up and like rolled over and taken it, and it was a blizzard in Salt Lake on Monday. So I imagine I'm jealous. I wish I had some snow. Although thinking about the temperature of it and going out there and touching it isn't very exciting, but man, I love snow. It does something to my brain when the snow falls. Like the first really really good snow in Utah, I'll put my snow gear on and just walk to the grocery store. Just whatever, you know. I just want to be out there in it for a little while. I can't wait to go snowboarding. I'm so excited. Total invulnerability, says Tommy Bird. We've had this conversation before, haven't we? Yeah, I do like total invulnerability. Mind reading or teleportation. Yeah, teleporting would be my second. Well, my go-to second. I think mind reading would be too overwhelming for me. I already feel like I do read minds, and it gets me into trouble. Yeah, public transportation is for the birds, Caitlin. I'm definitely with you. That's the method of transportation that I am bound to currently, but time traveling, says the Arabian Bard. Ooh, got some mischief up your sleeve. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, is that a real thing? I could tell you all about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. There's a town in, I probably shouldn't say that. Never mind. I'm going to backpedal very quickly on that. I was going to say some crass jokes about people in Utah, but we're going to keep that kind of non-love to ourselves. Mind probes. Please, please, please keep the language clean in the comments or I will clean you out of the boat. The red and white limo. Oh my. I wonder if that's a universal a universal thing because it's red, white, and blue in Utah. I wonder what it is here. I haven't paid attention enough. Interesting, interesting. I hate the whole alpha beta male rhetoric, says Flick. If everyone was fighting to be the leader, we wouldn't get anywhere. You need a team of people behind you, and it's the little people that keep society going. I think that this is the difference between old thinking and new thinking, right? I think this is the difference between age old tradition and what's progress, right? Yeah, it takes like a village to make the thing go. I know that that saying is said differently, but I can't think of how it's actually said right now at the moment. But you know, it's going to take us all to make it work. And the idea that we need someone above us to administrate, I think, is ridiculous. Like government can help with some stuff, right? I think that's pretty cool. But I also feel like if we, the people, were responsible for all the stuff that the government seems to have taken responsibility of, we would take more pride in our cities, in our neighbors, in what's going on, right? It would feel less like we're rats running through a maze that was built for us and more like we are building the maze. Like we're building whatever we want because we're sovereign, infinite beings, right? I think that yeah, I think that if we took more, and obviously I'm speaking for like a large amount of people, right? I think it's a lot easier said than done. It's easy to talk about these concepts, right? But I think it's a far different story. Losing my train of thought. Space Diesel, what's going on, good buddy? Any good festivals coming up? Well, Falls on Fire just ended. I missed out on my Hawaii trip this year, so that was on my radar. At this point, the next thing I'm probably looking at is either Element 11 or something for New Year's. Nothing in particular. I may just go do some down home stuff in Salt Lake sometime in December. I really want to go visit and see Takara and all that stuff, right? But we're most likely looking at nothing big until what is that? July, June? I think it's June, which is like more than half a year away, right? I feel like there's got to be something before that. I will keep you in the loop, Space Diesel. I will definitely keep you in the loop. I know my buddies are always taking bookings and stuff, and I'm always invited. So I just need to check in when the crew gets back from Hawaii. We're gonna check in about what's next. But also, I think that some of them are gonna take a little break. I know Clayton, for one, has been on the road for ever. I think he's looking at taking a nice vacation in Quartzsite. Casey, I relate with this so much. Birthplace, Earth, race, human, politics, freedom, religion, love. That's right. I subscribe to this magazine. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it here. I really appreciate you being here. Cinderella's Glass Slipper, hello, hello. Good to see you. I just noticed. Doing Christmas shopping. Ooh, that reminds me, I got to get some things together. My sister asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I don't know what I want for Christmas. I would love a proper cup of tea, Flick, so much. One day we'll sit down for tea. I can feel it in my bones. Nana of two, hello, hello. All right, guys. I love you guys. You guys are the best. You know that? Shout out to the mods, the crew, everyone that showed up today. You guys make my mornings amazing and you enrich my life. An easel for sure. That's what I should ask for. Look at you, Caitlin. I know that I need that, but for some reason, it didn't even occur to me to ask my sister for it. I'm gonna tell her right now. Hey, maybe like a really stiff, small paintbrush or an easel. What do you think, Allie? You know? All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. It's Friday, Junior. Don't forget, we will see you later today. It's a paint day. 4 p.m. Eastern, we will be painting. I guess you can kind of see it over here. I'm not going to pull the second camera up right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys in about 4 hours for some painting. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, all right? We'll see you later.